Thank you for staying with us. It's time for us to go on. Your reactions are just like the reactions of those that we spoke to in that report. Very varied. And we're going to be reading a few of your comments on Twitter later on the show. But let's quickly go on to this next part of the show and continue our build up to the World Cup. We focused, of course, on Nigeria. But now let's look at the bigger picture. Let's look at the World Cup itself. Gentlemen, yesterday we talked about it, 9 days to go. It's 8 days now to go. It's really closing in on us. Onye, you've been keeping tabs with all that has been going on around the World Cup. Let's just focus on a few things very quickly. The president of Brazil today said a few things about the increasing cost of hosting the World Cup, the reason why there's been protests and agitations. And he warned the protesters that, look, it's not all negative. It's not all negative. Just as we said on this show, yes, it's expensive hosting this World Cup, but there are some things that will come at the end of the World Cup that is going to make life better.
Well, I think it's a case of a buck passing to him. President Dilma Rousseff, that's the Brazilian president, you know, it's like the reality is beginning to dawn on her, has defended the amount of money they have invested in hosting the World Cup. And she said that they were betrayed by FIFA.
If you say invested, some say wasted.
Yes, she said they were betrayed by FIFA. That during the agreement, FIFA said that all the stadiums will be, you know, privately funded. And they discovered that
the private funding wasn't coming.
But the private funding will come from Brazilians.
They come from the private sector
in Brazil, not from FIFA.
You know, obviously they thought that FIFA would get involved. You know,
because the impression that we have always had, the impression we have always had is that you cannot declare a loss
after hosting the World Cup.
That was the impression that FIFA gave everybody. That look, the World Cup coming to your city is like the savior has come.
Yeah, because
people are going to come, you are going to have infrastructural development, you are going to have expansion.
Exactly. And that is what FIFA normally touts, that football cup, the World Cup coming to your country brings what is known in economic terms as betterment. It increases the value of your internal economy, increases the value of certain properties that within certain areas because certain infrastructure have been provided, maybe transportation, maybe better hotel facilities, maybe better schools, better hospitals as well. Then there's also FIFA projects that are also given to the host nation that South Africa benefited from after hosting the World Cup.
Just to add to what you are saying, South Africa, 2 years to the World Cup, I told everybody that they had already surpassed the highest record of profits for a World Cup.
Exactly.
So when you hear stories like this, you want to host the World Cup. You are jumping. But look, let's get involved.
The Brazilians
are saying something different.
They initially had a bill of 3 billion. But somehow, some way, that bill became 12 or 16 billion.
Absolutely.
And the people are saying that, look, you promised us that most of this will come from private funding. All of a sudden, it is now taxpayers' money that is used to provide these facilities.
Then, of course, Tony, after Australia, Iran and Croatia, have landed in Brazil.
That takes us now to what we're seeing in Brazil. Only the countries are already beginning to arrive. This is the picture of Iran, the second country to arrive. Australia the first. Iran, Nigeria's opponents, Group F rivals, have also arrived in Brazil. And this is Carlos Queiroz, former Bafana coach, who is leading Iran.
Some mischievous characters joke that since Iran already know that they are going to crash out early, they decided to come
early.
So that
I'll enjoy the country. I'm going for time. 2 weeks to the 8 days to the competition, they're there.
But Queiroz said today that they are coming from very far parts of the world, and that was
further than Africa.
That was why they had to
come early
to get acclimatized to the people of Brazil.
They already
enjoying the sights and sound like
it's 8 days to the competition
of Brazil.
So early to come, early to go. That is story of
early to bed, early to rise.
All right, so Iran have arrived as well. They've arrived in Brazil. But let's go to an interesting story. Cristiano Ronaldo, the best footballer in the world, is struggling to be fit for the World Cup, and that's a huge worry for Portugal going to this World Cup. But it's interesting for us because our African brothers are in the same group with
Portugal.
The
Black Stars of Ghana.
I'm talking about the Black Stars of Ghana.
Ronaldo is reported by the Portuguese FA to have tendonitis in his left knee. Initially, they claimed that he had a muscular problem in his thigh, but now they have now come out and say he has tendonitis in his left knee. But the particularly interesting story here is that a Ghanaian witch doctor, his name is Nana Kweku Bonsam, whose name is literally translates as the devil of Wednesday, predicted far back in February that
Cristiano Ronaldo to make sure he wasn't fit for the Ghana game.
Will miss the World Cup. He said he will even miss the World Cup.
Oh.
And the man is still talking tough. He said that I know what Cristiano Ronaldo's injury is about, and I'm working on him.
It is a spiritual injury.
The man is finishing. He said, in fact, I'm very serious about it. Last week, I went around looking for 4 dogs, and I'm going to use them in manufacturing a special spirit called Kawiri Kapam.
Yeah.
And that Kawiri Kapam, he says, he will make sure that this injury can never be cured by any medic. That they can never see what is causing the injury because it is spiritual. Today it is his knee, tomorrow it is his thigh, next day it is something else.
Yes. So what happens if Ronaldo gets to play? What happens to this?
No, let's wait and see.
Self-acclaimed.
Let's wait and see.
Well, like, his credibility is tarnished.
But let's wait and see. But the story really is that Ronaldo is struggling at the moment. So the witch doctor is working at the moment.
He struggled, towards the latter part of the season.
That is the logical explanation that he will give.
But
the Ghanaian witch doctor is telling us that it is spiritual. By the time the knee is okay, the waist will have a problem.
No, the man is just trying to get some publicity and perhaps get some money from